Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to talk about a question that always pops up in my DMs, and that is, how is the wrap holding up? I've had this vehicle wrapped for about 1.5 years. I wrapped it myself, so it's not been done professionally, but I think I did a pretty good job. And we're going to show you guys all the problems with the wrap because it's not perfect. Everything ain't greener on the other side. So we're gonna show you all the little issues. First, I gotta wash it. We'll throw it in the garage. We're gonna get up close and personal with all the little bubbles, all the parts that are lifting up, the issues that I've had over the years, and just overall give you my opinion on if a wrap is worth it on a side-by-side, UTV, or any off-road machine for that matter, especially when they're getting dirty so much. So we're gonna clean my X3 up. I am using a pressure washer, an electric pressure washer. It's 2000 PSI. I've used this for 1.5 years. I've had no issues with it, so that's a safe pressure for your wrap. I am using regular car soap, but I am still using Shine Supply's clutch silica spray when I'm done with the vehicle to give it a nice rich black finish when it comes to the plastics, and it makes all the vinyl shine really nice. So it leaves behind like a coating that is what I would call a bead maker, because all the water kind of beads up, and it'll do that for about the next 2 washes. So the next 2 washes after I use this, it's a lot easier to clean up the machine. For the interior, I used to use Shine Supply's Clean and Shine. I stopped using that because I found this and it's cheaper and it works really good. This is a UV protectant. I use this on the seats and pretty much all the interior plastics except for some of the dash panels. I kind of use the clutch still, so I can go either way, but for definitely for the seats, I use this 303. It works really good. It leaves the finish almost like a matte finish, but it leaves it looking pretty new. It also kind of does the same thing as the clutch, where it kind of makes everything beat up a lot better. So I definitely recommend these 2 products after you wash your vehicle. Obviously this is an off-road car, it doesn't have to be perfect. And yes, my machine is wrapped, but it's not a show car. I use this machine, I get it dirty, I get rock chips, I get hit everywhere, I get all sorts of stuff. The kids climb in and out and scratch all the panels. So enough talk, let's go ahead and clean it up. We'll throw it in the garage and we'll show you guys all the little problems that you guys might encounter if you wrap your machine. All right guys, you guys can buy the most expensive soap in the world. There ain't nothing like elbow grease. Cleans anything. All right guys, we're in the garage. It's all cleaned up, at least clean enough to be on the video. And I'm gonna show you guys my wrap after 1.5 years and all the little issues that don't show up on camera, but I'm gonna show you today. So obviously a lot of you guys like my machine. I like my machine. It looks really cool, but it's not perfect. Up close and personal, you will see a lot of little details that for some of you might have OCD like me, drive you nuts. And well, let's get into it. This vehicle, I've had it for over 4 years now, 2018. 3.5 years now, and the wrap has been on there for 1.5 years. I wrapped this myself. No one wrapped it for me. No one helped me with a goddamn panel. I did it all by myself. Actually, that's a lie. My wife helped me.
Flashback.
Because it's my wife, it's going on the car, baby.
Actually, I'm gonna beat your ass.
And let me tell you, we struggled because I've never wrapped the vehicle in my life. I've only done a couple carbon fiber trim pieces inside the interior of my truck, and that's about it. And I think my street bike as well, just a couple panels here and there. So I don't know what I'm doing, but the wrap's still on there, so I did a decent job. And that's because I watched a YouTube video, just like the one you're watching right now. So, like I said, let's get into it. I'm gonna show you all the little goddamn problems. So, I'm gonna start off with the door panels because they're the only ones that don't have any problems. And I'm gonna tell you why. Any panel that is painted and it has a real smooth finish, kind of like the paint on your car, you can easily wrap, and the wrap is not gonna come off of that as easy. The flatter the panel, the easier. I think door panels are super easy to wrap. If you have, for example, the new 2022 with the blue and silver, and you want to put full doors and you just want to do a vinyl to match the blue that's already on the fenders and the front, and then just wrap the doors, and it's actually really simple. I think you guys can do that without having to have a lot of experience wrapping a vehicle. If it's a flat panel like this one, you know, you and a buddy can grab it. One holds one side, and then you can squeegee it on, and it doesn't take a lot of effort to not get any bubbles in there. So the door panels, all 4 of them are just about perfect. From using the machine, I've had some rock chips in the past, like one there for example, and the rock left a indentation, actually like a little dent to it, but it didn't tear off the wrap. It did leave a scratch in it, a gouge I would call it. There is some brush marks that if you look at it at the correct angle, you will see them, but like I said, it's not that bad either, and when it's in the sun, you can't even tell. The main problem with the wrap is gotta be the fenders and any panel pretty much that's textured plastic. The textured plastic doesn't seem to like the vinyl sticking to it. So I've had this machine wrapped for a year and a half, but I've had to make many touch-ups. A lot of pieces have been removed and pieces have been replaced on the bottom section towards the front area, and well, it is what it is. We'll show you guys the fender. For example, the fenders are very difficult because of this area here. There's a lot of curvature, and obviously this also matters on what kind of vinyl you buy. This vinyl was automotive vinyl. It was from metrorestyling.com, and it was from KPMF. This is not 3M. I have no experience with 3M. 3M might be easier to maneuver, and you might not have these issues as much as I do with this one, because all the vinyl companies are different. Some have better adhesive than others. Some are thicker than others. There's some guys out there that make specific wraps for machines like these, for the X3s, for the RZRs, for the Talons, and they are a lot thicker. They're motocross, dirt bike style vinyl that's a lot thicker. Might be harder to apply, I don't know. That will be something you have to learn on your own. But this is automotive grade, and it does have its issues. So at the very top here, perfection. It looks freaking great. And I started from the back to the front when I did this wrap, and I ended up doing everything perfect except when you get to this section here, and you can see all the bubbles that are on this crease here. And let me tell you, I had to add a piece here to keep it from coming up, and these did not show up right away. This actually showed up after I messed up and let the car sit in the sun when it was like 105 degrees, and I let it sit outside for like 2 or 3 days, and all of a sudden I saw multiple bubbles all around the machine. So if you do have a wrap, I highly suggest you don't keep it outside. If you're able to and you have a garage, keep it inside, because the heat will actually attack some of the weaker areas where the wrap and adhesive didn't stick very well. That's that. I mean, it is what it is. I'm not gonna wrap this whole panel all over again just because of this. You really can't see it when you're looking at it from the side. It's mainly when you peek in here, you know, on the other side of this winglet. So this looks great. If these bubbles are right here, then yeah, I'd probably rewrap this panel, but it's not a big deal. Also, this cover here for the cage cover likes to rub on this, and you can see where it's kind of scarred and marred and chewed up, but it is what it is. Again, off-road vehicle. This fender is actually pretty perfect. I've had issues in the past where I had to rewrap the other side because it was peeling on this edge. I did put a edge sealer, I think was made by 3M. It's kind of like, literally it looks like nail polish, or smells like nail polish. You put it on the edge, it seals, and it helps the vinyl from you know, peeling up. We'll get into this lower panel. This is a textured plastic, kind of like this fender is. It's actually been pretty good so far. I did have issues on the other side where I did meet up 2 pieces of vinyl. Oh, actually this one has it too, and you can see there it peeled up. Now again, luckily this happened in an area where you can't see.
You didn't see anything.
So I'm not too worried about it. I'm gonna leave it alone. Sometimes you have to meet 2 edges together. As you can see here, there's a seam here. But what is cool is because the vinyl is, you know, smooth, shiny, one piece of vinyl will adhere to another piece of vinyl pretty damn good, and I really don't have issues with them peeling. Besides, you know, that kind of stuff, because this is in a spot where it's very easy for rocks to get to and, you know, smash up. I've had pieces and chunks removed. You guys can see all the rock chips. A big one was right here. I actually put a piece of vinyl and stuck it on there. I don't know if you guys can see that. And I mean, it's not a big deal. It is what it is. It's at the bottom. Again, you can't really see it that much. The doors are perfect. The fenders are almost perfect. And the car looks great. But there is these little pieces here and there where rocks have damaged the wrap. Also here, you guys can see where the wrap has pretty much said bye-bye.
And we say bye-bye.
And the vinyl has, you know, been damaged pretty good. It is what it is, and this is actually gonna get covered up with some new skid plates that I bought from our friends over at SSS Off-Road, and that's gonna be really dope. That'll be a separate video. Rocks from the front tire when you're in 4-wheel drive are gonna roost all over the panel, and luckily these rock blocks help a whole lot. If I didn't have these, this would be a lot more damage. I'm sure the door would have a lot of shred on it too. but you know, it's not too bad. It is what it is. Luckily, it's at the bottom. One issue that I've also had with these lower plastics, because of all these curvatures here, is and obviously because of this textured plastic and not, you know, glossy or smooth like the doors, is I've had some bubbles always come up on these edges right here. And I will heat these up and run my finger across them to get the bubbles out, and it'll be good for a long time. And then all of a sudden I leave it in the sun and the bubbles reappear, and I want to pull my hair out, the very little I have. We'll move on to the front fascia of the X3 and show you guys some of the issues I've had there. Actually, before that, let me show you the interior of the door, or where the door meets these body panels. There's some parts where I've had issues, not a whole lot, but this is gonna be probably door specific. So the front door, not too bad. You can see where I use the seam sealer or the edge sealer because it's shiny. Actually, no real issues here. You know, I put the vinyl down and it works great. But the back doors, both back doors, have had the same problem where the door actually meets the body panel at the very back side. So everything's good over here, but right here in this spot, the door frame actually contacts that. And there's nothing that I could do. I've actually tried removing pieces and putting double layer. There's just nothing I could do about it. I could probably try lifting the door up, but then that would mess up all the lines I have for the door. And I have them pretty perfect, so I don't want to mess with that. So let's move on to the front. I do want to say that this KPMF wrap is fairly thin, but I haven't had real issues with the gas damaging the vinyl. It hasn't stained it, hasn't done anything, so I'm happy that the gas hasn't done that. E85, I haven't spilled any to find out, but I'm hoping it won't mess it up either. On this fender, you guys can see where I had this little oopsie. I mean, this is the first time I ever wrapped the vehicle. Give me a break. I did have to have a seam there, and then I got some creases, but it is what it is, no big deal. The other side is actually a lot better. The vinyl portion of the fender here is actually pretty good. I have had issues, and this side doesn't have the problem. I think the other side does, where the pieces of vinyl meeting up to right here. Sometimes I get a little bit of lift and peeling, but this side doesn't have that issue. Towards the front, all the painted panels have been perfect. So this panel used to be gloss black, the triple black. So was this one, and they came out perfect. They were very hard to wrap because this one has a lot of curvature, but it did come out good, and it hasn't peeled at all. This part here, which is textured plastic, has been another story. It's kind of been a pain in the butt. Right here, you can see where I had to remove a piece that lifted up, and I had to repair it. And it ain't perfect, guys, but you know, it is what it is. You know, if I painted this vehicle, the rock chips would damage the paint and it would be a lot worse, I think. Personal opinion, I'm not sure. A lot of guys that paint their vehicles, they're going to the sand only. They're not really going to the open desert and damaging everything up with rocks. All the race cars out there that you guys see are using wrap and not paint. And I'm assuming they're using better vinyl than I am. So, like I said, this is just automotive vinyl. Right here, you can also see where a piece is starting to lift up. I might have to touch that up or replace this whole section, which would be the top of the eyebrow here. I've had issues where the screw goes. I don't know why, but air or dirt gets underneath there and it's peeled a couple times. It is what it is. Same thing with pretty much all the panels. Everything you see as far as paneling here, these are all little pieces. This is one piece, it stops here. This is another piece, it stops here and here. And then another piece is this down. There's actually a line right here that gets hidden by the bumper. But pretty much all this stuff are little pieces. And because they're little pieces, you guys can see, let's see here. This side's not peeling all that much, but I'm gonna show you guys the other side in a second. But right there, you can see there's a little gap, and that's because it's starting to peel. I'll probably try cleaning that off with alcohol and put a little bead of, what do you call it, edge sealer, and hopefully that'll stick. If not, I will have to rewrap this section and the lower section. Mainly, I think, is because I didn't prep the plastic very well. I think the plastic's gotta be extremely clean, as well as a lot of guys say to heat up the plastic until it starts turning a darker color, and it makes it easier to adhere for the vinyl. This side, same exact thing. You can see where the screw has some crease marks and lift marks, and that's because I think dirt gets underneath there. I don't know if it's air or dirt, but that keeps happening to me. Over here, no real big issues. You can see something chipped off right here. Now I got a little bit of a liftage here. Same thing over here. This piece is lifting up, and I think I actually added this little small strip because I had that. So what I could do is clean this up with alcohol and put another little piece of vinyl strip. And then what I usually do is I use a torch, I heat it up, and then I push down on it, and it kind of kind of adheres a little bit better. So over here in the front, you can see that is damaged from a rock or some sort. I mean, you can see the plastic got chewed up too. There's nothing I can do about that. And if it was paint, that sucks because you have to repaint the whole panel. With vinyl, I could literally remove a section and put a new section of vinyl on. So over here too, lots of rock chips following the guys, you know. And one that I recently seen is this one right here. You can see on this crease, there's all sorts of bubbles right there. Now there's no way for water to get in there, so I'm not worried about it, but the sun baked the vinyl on all those bubbles again. So what I could do, and I'll probably just do it on video for you guys, just to show you guys what I do to upkeep the vinyl, is I'll get, you know, my torch, like this one, and then I'll literally just, see if I can light this up better. Heat it up, and I'll push it down, and it gets rid of a lot of bubbles. So that got rid of a lot of the bubbles, but the adhesion is just not as good as it once was, or maybe I didn't clean that part very good when I put that vinyl piece on, and that's gonna happen again. It's gonna bubble up again, but no big deal, man. I got a lot of stuff to do on this machine. I'm gonna do some rewiring. I'm probably gonna put a Switch Pros. I finally gave in. I kind of want to start my machine from my phone. It's pretty damn cool. So it is what it is. I gotta redo the electrical. I got a new SMB particle separator to install. I got a new Evolution Power Sports intake to install. New skid plates from SSS Off-Road. New mirrors from Chupacabra Off-Road. And man, I got a lot of little stuff to touch up when it comes to the vinyl. Not everything, it's not a big deal to me, it's an off-road car. But I do have a little bit of a level of OCD. It's never ending, guys, you already know. But for the most part, when I'm done, I want to stop touching this car, and that's going to be it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying? Oh my God, stop your fucking lying.
Alright, I'm calling it a night. That's it for this video. Thanks for watching as always. Like the video to help me. It helps the algorithm, helps YouTube push me to more viewers. And a lot of you viewers, 70% of you guys aren't even subscribed. Hit that subscribe button, help your boy out, because I know this is the first time you watch one of my videos. Hit up glifeutv.com and check out some of the new merch that's coming really, really soon. And yeah, see you guys. Stay dirty or clean, and we'll see you guys next time.